Fans, we are set to go women's action, 3 rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing an officially 135 1/4 pounds. Tonight, she makes her professional debut, fighting out of and representing South London, England. Here is Emma Heavy D. Delaney. And next, her opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 4 inches tall. She weighed in officially 138 1/4 pounds, and tonight also makes her professional debut, fighting out of Worthing, West Sussex, England. Here is Laura Hothead Howarth. Referee in charge of the action is Mark Goddard.
And the esteemed referee, Mark Goddard, about to get this one underway. Women's bantamweight action. Laura Howarth in the yellow shorts. Emma Heavy D. Delaney in the blue attire.
Laura Howarth missing weight yesterday by a couple of pounds or so. So let's see if that plays into this fight, should we go the distance.
I mean, it's interesting when we talk about fighters not hitting the mark on the scales. We're usually not talking about a fight-changing amount of weight, but you've got to ask the question, you know, what happened with the weight cut and how that's going to affect Laura Howarth in this fight if it was indeed a bad weight cut that she had. No doubt our questions will be answered and more as this one gets underway.
Well, she lands a good leg kick, and that spurs Emma Delaney forward to close the distance fairly rapidly.
Brad Wharton and Josh Palmer calling the action for you on our live Facebook stream. Welcoming fans that are just tuning in for this bout. Don't forget to join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag CWFC62. Tell us what you think of the fight so far and what you're looking forward to for the remainder of the evening.
Yeah, Howarth doing some good counter punching, but Delaney is definitely being the aggressor so far in this one.
Delaney looking incredibly focused, stalking her opponent around the cage. Howarth taking the center of the cage now. Being walked back by Delaney. Being urged for action from her corner. Looking for the combination there was Laura Howarth. Emma Delaney, though, coming forward with impunity. Another nice leg kick there, but that one was caught, and there's a takedown.
Yeah, good work from Emma Delaney there to catch the kick and off-balance Laura Howarth. Half guard now for the lady in the blue.
And Delaney looking to pass this guard, using a forearm on the face of Laura Howarth.
Yeah, nice grinding technique there, just making it as unpleasant as possible for Laura Howarth on the bottom here. And the guard is wide open. Emma Delaney can free that leg anytime she wants, but good underhook here.
Still going to be looking to step out of that guard, either straight into mount, perhaps into side control.
Yeah, Laura Howarth has got to try and get herself underneath Delaney here, recover those arms, which are very, very isolated above her head at the moment, and mount now for Emma Delaney.
Steps over beautifully and gives herself a whole new set of options, does Emma Heavy D. Delaney.
I think Laura Howarth has got to get her arms back here. They're a little extended and isolated. She's going to have to be very careful that Emma Delaney doesn't spot. And that is a strong forearm from Emma Delaney right on the throat to Laura Howarth, just pinning the head in place.
Looking decidedly unpleasant, but she switched for the armbar. Now back's against the cage. That might disadvantage her a little here, Josh. Looking to turn and stretch that arm out is Emma Delaney.
Well, she needs to uncross her feet, plant both feet on the ground, really try and drive off those legs. And switching to a triangle now. This is a very bad position for Laura Howarth, who's going to have to really grit her teeth to try and get through this one. Let's see if she can turn and stack her up, but
Delaney trying to push those arms off.
Anxious moments for Laura Howarth. The cage is definitely being her friend here.
Defending this submission attempt valiantly is Laura Howarth. Still in a very bad spot. Needs to pull that elbow out, Josh.
Yeah, she needs to stack Emma Delaney up here, try and not pull away, but drop all the weight down on her left-hand side, using that right leg very nicely to block the back. And it's really going to limit the amount of extension that Emma Delaney can get on her back here.
Needs to pull that elbow out to stop Delaney using it as a fulcrum.
Well, you know what? This is textbook armbar defense from Laura Howarth. But she's not out of this one just yet.
You always wonder about the nerves and whether a fighter might just panic and simply try and rip their arm out in this position, but she's doing everything by the book, as you say, Josh. Stacking, pushing down.
And she's got her elbow free here.
Looking to slam Emma Delaney.
Oh, she's got to get her head up. She does not want to put herself in a triangle here. And good, strong posture from Laura Howarth. That's going to give her an awful lot of confidence.
Looking to rain down that right hand, but time is up on the first round. And that was a very precarious position for Laura Howarth at the end of that first round, Josh.
Yeah, it certainly was. A lot of finishing options for Emma Delaney. Not able to quite get the extension, the cage getting in the way, and Laura Howarth doing everything by the book. Perfect armbar defense once she was able to get to a more traditional position. Let's have a look at some of these replays.
Nice right hand by Laura Howarth there. But that was a leg kick.
Yeah, good catch.
That led to the takedown.
Good catch the kick and the takedown from Delaney. And, you know, it was really nice work to progress to that mount position. And Laura Howarth here just left her arms a bit too extended, a bit too isolated. She didn't get on her hips and make a frame quick enough. And, you know, that allowed the submission entry from Emma Delaney. Good first round for the woman in the blue corner.
Slightly slow start to that first round, but once the takedown came, it was really all one-way traffic for Emma Delaney. Laura Howarth now looking to get back into it here in the second of 3 5-minute rounds here at Cage Warriors 62, and a beautiful kick to the body there from Laura Howarth. Both women looking focused. The start of this second round.
Oh, again, Delaney motioning to catch the kick.
You'll notice she's keeping her elbows in tight there. Must not have liked the feel of that first body kick that landed on the ribs.
Yeah, there's another, but a good takedown from Delaney, closing the distance. And
Howarth
good strikes from Howarth. She's doing some damage here.
Power punches from Laura Howarth. And she takes Emma Delaney's back, perhaps a little bit too anxious there, giving up that position, but she's come out on top, Josh.
Well, was that some of the judo background from Delaney, kicking in, going to the turtle position, a typical defense in judo, but Howarth sensing the kill there, and, well, this second round's got an entirely different complexion to the first now.
I believe a silver medalist in judo.
Oh, really?
So, certainly adept with those hips in the clinch, you would think. Yeah, and of course, you know, the armbar, real textbook judo technique. But nice piercing shots here from Laura Howarth, straight through the guard of Delaney.
Laura Howarth just a little off balance there. Delaney keeps trying to break her base and her posture, and you can see she's just tying her head up here, content to perhaps stall this one out. Try and wait for a stand-up. It's nice to see Laura Howarth use this position, really try and get some posture and get some strikes off and make Delaney pay here in this second round.
Howarth certainly in control at this point in the second period. Looking to land a couple of shots to the body, perhaps keep Emma Delaney guessing. And referee Mark Goddard asking Laura Howarth to improve that position. Another nice right hand landed there from Howarth, and another.
Yeah, this is good posture here, hips forward. She's got to be careful of the up kicks.
Trying to force her way past those legs, and really landing some powerful shots here from this position. A lot of leverage on those.
And she lets Delaney back to her feet, but she had a good period of control on top there. And that, of course, was all started by some very vicious ground and pound in the turtle position.
Perhaps the more comfortable striker of the two is Laura Howarth.
Big deep breaths from Delaney.
Again, looking for that kick to the body, and as you say, Josh, deep breaths from Delaney. Perhaps Howarth has spotted that and might look to switch up her attack and target the body a little bit more. Delaney looking aggressive now on the feet.
Oh, good shots from both ladies there, both throwing at the same time. Of course, the best time to hit someone is when they're trying to hit you. It leaves them a bit more exposed, and both ladies landing very well there.
Of course, catching your opponent moving forward only adds power to the strike. And both ladies managed to do that there. Clash of fists in the centre of the cage.
Yeah, Laura Howarth backpedaling here.
I'd like to see a little bit more forward motion from Laura Howarth. She's got power in her striking attacks, but she seems content at the moment to have Delaney come onto her.
Yeah, I'd like to see her put a bit of pressure on here, eat up some of the clock. Let's throw some strikes. Let's try and move around these legs.
Kick to the inside of the leg. Delaney in the butt scoop position now, looking to hook the legs of Laura Howarth and pull her down into that guard.
You can get some cheeky sweeps from there, but Laura Howarth's going to have to work.
And Mark Goddard threatens to stand up, and the two ladies oblige him. More deep breaths from Emma Delaney, comes forward with a slightly awkward right hand there.
Yeah, Emma Delaney has never actually gone more than 2 minutes in a fight. Neither lady has ever actually been to a third round, so new territory for both of them possibly here.
Bear in mind as well, their previous fights having been amateur, those will have been shorter rounds as well, so the longest we've seen Emma Delaney in a fight here.
Oh, and taking the back now off the scramble is Laura Howarth. She hasn't got much time to work, but both hooks in for the lady from Portsmouth.
Only seconds to go, but this is certainly going to seal this round in favour of Laura Howarth, you would think.
Stop.
Not enough time to do anything with what was admittedly a great position.
Yeah, she didn't land too much damage in either of those periods of top control for her, but she did have the control, she did have the top position, probably got a bit of the better of Emma Delaney on the feet as well. So you got to figure, Brad, we're probably 1 round all going into this one as we take a look at some of the replays from that second round.
And some big shots were landed here, and it looked for a minute like Laura Howarth might stop her opponent. Some big bombing hands, some more up against the cage. Beautiful corkscrew uppercut there from Laura Howarth.
Yeah, found the mark well with that strike again. Just letting Emma Delaney walk onto those shots, and here on the scramble was a nice back take from Laura Howarth.
It looked like Delaney was perhaps looking for some kind of throw there. Wasn't able to get the leverage she needed.
Yeah, I have a feeling she was looking to get a turning throw off the forearm grip, but
if there is a criticism of judo in MMA, it's that
giving you
if
back
that
in the
throw
throws
doesn't go 100% correct, you put yourself in a precarious position.
And you know, it's funny, we're talking about the judo background of Emma Delaney. Laura Howarth, of course, in the corner has, Brett Caswell, exactly, who of course has a huge judo pedigree down at Gym 01.
Nice right hand from Delaney there. Howarth answers back. Oh, and there's that left-handed uppercut again from Delaney. Beautiful shot. Twisted it in and up from the side. Delaney not phased though, still moving forward. Howarth's corner saying that Delaney not moving ahead, looking for their fighter to take advantage. Delaney throwing the kick out there, wide of the mark. Oh, and there's that kick to the body again, Josh.
Yeah, Laura Howarth probably just getting the better of this stand-up now. Definitely some fatigue setting in to Emma Delaney.
And this could be the time for Laura Howarth to start making Delaney work.
You got to wonder, is that shoulder bothering her? She keeps stretching it out every time she marches forward.
Could well be, could be gamesmanship. We'll have to see. Gameswomanship perhaps in this women's bantamweight fight. Some fantastic plans for our women's divisions in Cage Warriors next year. course, more women's fights before the end of this year.
Well, Delaney surging forward now, but Howarth backpedaling, keeping the range in the distance.
Nice right hands there from Laura Howarth. And this backwards motion from Howarth is forcing Delaney to walk onto those shots, Josh. Howarth able to cut away, make the angle, land the counter strike as Delaney comes in.
Yeah, I would like to see a throw with a bit more volume, though. She's resorting to just these single strikes.
Attempted that uppercut again, didn't quite find a home for it. Did land the left, though. Howarth with that southpaw stance could be awkward to figure out sometimes.
Oh, good right
nice
hand. It's not necessarily pretty, the backpedaling and waiting for the counterpunch, but it is being effective from Laura Howarth.
3 shots landed there for Howarth. And as you said, Josh, it doesn't always have to be pretty for it to work. Cage Warriors 62 here in Newcastle, the Metro Radio Arena. More fights still to come on our live Facebook stream. MMA Junkie and Cage Warriors TV. Check your local listings for our stacked main card this evening. Delaney still coming forward in this one, but it's Howard landing the better shots. Nice left hand landed from Delaney there.
Well, Delaney having a bit of success here, and Howarth just going back in a straight line with a chin up. She's able to disengage eventually, but you can see there's definitely some holes for both ladies to work on here moving forward with their careers.
Absolutely, Josh. And remember as well, both ladies here making their professional debut. And regardless of the outcome here tonight, as you say, both of them have a lot to take away from this.
Stop all the time. Laura, you're going backwards too much. I want you to engage. You understand me? You're going backwards too much.
Well,
let's go.
Mark Goddard finally deciding that enough backpedaling is enough backpedaling, and at a certain point it perhaps does become classed as timidity, which of course is a foul under the Unify rules.
Just a warning at this point from Mark Goddard, and seems to have done its trick. A lot of aggression there, and a beautiful right hand landed.
Well, perhaps that's paid into the hands of Laura Howarth, who's landed a good few shots in the last 20 seconds there.
And Emma Delaney not really planting her feet, swinging these punches from her shoulders. There's not much power in them, but finally showing some aggression here at the end of this third round. What she doesn't want to do is dive in and land right on the end of one of those counters. Again, looking for the judo throw. This time she's got it.
Yeah, and she's hit Kezagitami with... Oh, and she's looking for the arm lock as well, but Laura Howarth is going to try and scramble to the back here. Only 10 seconds left.
Stop.
And perhaps the best offense of the fight from Emma Delaney there, but coming just a little bit too late. So to couldn't get with it, Josh.
Yeah, couldn't get hold of Laura Howarth throughout that entire third round. Constant backpedaling, but pretty good counter punching, and probably taking away to a decision victory here.
We saw a very similar technique used by Ivan Bashinga to defeat Mick Sinclair in his last bout. Bashinga fighting for the Cage Warriors title on New Year's Eve in Dublin. Another fantastic New Year's Eve card from Cage Warriors to end the year. And our judges are rendering their decisions here in Newcastle. Laura Howarth landing a lot of fantastic shots there as she backpedals. Beautiful left hand from Howarth. And to give Emma Delaney credit, she was the aggressor there at the end of that third period, but really didn't go her way. Finally got the judo throw that we were waiting for at the end of that round. But time was the biggest enemy. And we'll throw this one up into Joe Martinez in the cage to make it official. We await the final score here. Don't forget to join in the conversation on social media, hashtag CWFC62. Tell us who you thought won that fight and what you're most looking forward to as Cage Warriors 62 continues here in Newcastle. And Joe Martinez will make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the scorecards, and here are the judges' totals. Judge Cartledge scores the bout 29-28 for Delaney. Judge Leatherby, 29-28 for Howarth. And Judge Andy Sledge scores it 30-27 for your winner. Fighting out of the red corner by split decision, Laura Hothead Howarth.
A split decision win for Laura Howarth. 29-28 from one judge and all 3 rounds on another judge's scorecard. And takes a professional career to 1-0 here at Cage Warriors 62.